More than 6,000 proto-cuneiform tablets from early Mesopotamia survive, while whole libraries written on softer stuff vanished. That's the angle here. Civilization didn't just need words, it needed the right surface. Clay, reeds, skins, pulp, and eventually paper, tough enough for mass printing. Around 3300 BCE in Uruk, writing shows up with a very unromantic job, counting stuff. Scribes press proto-cuneiform signs into wet clay tablets to track grain, fish, animals, labor, and temple stores. Clay wins because the river plain has loads of mud and not much wood or papyrus. And here's the wild part. About 6,000 of these tablets survive, carrying more than 38,000 lines. After stacks of clay, Egypt goes lighter. By the Old Kingdom, papyrus is everywhere in administration. Plant pith sliced, pressed into sheets, then glued into long rolls. You can picture scribes unspooling records instead of lugging tablets. At Nefertari Kakai's pyramid complex, a temple archive from roughly 2446 to 2426 BCE shows papyrus deep in bureaucratic work. Big upgrade for storage, until damp, tearing, and rough hands ruin it. So yes, papyrus tears and hates damp, but by 1550 BCE, it's doing real schoolwork. The Rhine Mathematical Papyrus is basically a full ancient workbook. 84 problems on arithmetic, fractions, geometry, areas, and volumes. And this thing is long. The British Museum section alone runs about 296 centimeters. That's the twist. Classroom math survived for millennia because ink on papyrus was sturdy enough to use and important enough to keep. Then the camera lands in Pergamon. In 197 BCE, Eumenes II takes the throne, and later the city's name sticks so hard to skin pages that it helps give us parchment. The famous tale says Egypt choked off papyrus and forced the switch. Neat story, shaky history. What we can see is tougher prepared animal skin. It lasts longer, takes writing on both sides, and later fits the page-turning codex beautifully. So around 100 CE, that tougher skin clicks into a new shape. The Codex. One tiny Latin fragment, De Bellis Macedonicis, survives from this moment. It's parchment, not papyrus, and it has writing on both sides of little pages instead of one long roll. The scrap is only about 85 by 50 millimeters, roughly phone-sized, but the design change is huge. Now you can flip, compare passages, and jump straight to a spot. From that tiny page, the camera slides to 105 CE, when the Han Court records Kai Lun presenting paper. The mix is almost trash. Bark, hemp, rags, old fishing nets, mashed into sheets. Lighter than bamboo or wood slips, and far easier to make in bulk than parchment. Scholars think paper existed earlier, but this is the famous court moment. The recipe gets noticed, organized, and spread. Jump to around 330, and the book itself changes the game. Think Codex Sinaiticus, a huge parchment codex written around 330 to 350. one of the oldest substantial books still standing. Not a scroll you unroll, but folded sheets gathered into quires and bound. Parchment can take writing on both sides, survive hard use, and hold together for centuries. By late antiquity, parchment plus codex is becoming the deluxe format for texts meant to last. Then paper links up with print, and everything changes. In 868, the Diamond Sutra is woodblock printed on 7 paper sheets, pasted into a scroll nearly 5 meters long. The date is right there, 11th in May, 868. The lines are crisp. The frontispiece is already richly illustrated. This is not rough experimenting. Paper has become the obvious material for making many copies fast. So by 1151, papermaking is turning up in Europe too. At Zativa in Islamic Spain, a water-powered mill is on record. Instead of papyrus reeds or animal skins, papermakers shred old linen and hemp rags, then pound them into pulp. That water power matters. More fiber, faster, cheaper. And once paper gets affordable, clerks start drowning the late medieval world in contracts, letters, accounts, and extra copies. So the paperwork flood gets a better container. In Fabriano, Italy, paper mills are already humming, turning old rags into some of Europe's best sheets. Paper makers here help pioneer watermarks pressed into the page itself. They also refine molds and make tougher paper. That matters, because paper is no longer just cheap parchment. It's becoming a consistent, branded material, exactly the kind printers will soon want by the stack. So the history of writing isn't just a story about alphabets and authors. It's about mud, marsh plants, animal skin, and old shirts. Change the material and you change what a civilization can remember.